night or that very next morning, when council called me and Mr. Duggan said, you know, board members have asked me to give you a call. It wasn't him making it up. He had board members, I don't know who it was, that called him and said, hey, we'd like to work out a separation agreement and not deal with the firestorm meeting on the next one, the 29th. And by the way, it'd probably be a good idea for you to get your attorney. So I did that. That was the next day. So I went in and saw my attorney to try and see what in the world we're gonna do here. And at that time, guess what my attorney told me? You're now not going to be talking to the board because it's the attorneys who are talking to each other. That was not me not communicating with you. So then, after a couple days, I did call and I left you a message and I said, if it's an emergency or something about the workings of the school system, you know, we could talk about that. If it's anything else, I can't talk, or we'll have to talk on Monday or whatever it was. And then that next week, I know there were different folks who were calling me about that you had talked to them and they were now calling me, and it wasn't even my attorney. So I didn't know what to do with that. You know, and I had past superintendents talking to me. Oh, I talked to Bridget. She said, da, da, da. What do you think about this? I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I have talked. So that is all messed up. Then on the 29th, I did not plan on saying much. But when you sit here and you listen to all the information coming from the 4 people who didn't hesitate to not once but twice terminate you, I had to respond. And yes, I did make sure everybody heard what I had to say. Let's just say that, because it was just wrong in my sense. And so, but I do want to tell you this. I'm gonna read something because I know I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here. I know that. But I want to make sure that, and I have to again say this. Yes.
May I?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Madam Chair and esteemed board members. I just want to add some context to what Brennan just mentioned, because I think it's important for everybody who doesn't know what happened after the 22nd to really understand the position in which these 2 esteemed educators and human beings were put in 2 days before Thanksgiving. Okay, for people who claim to believe in family values, hanging them out on a motion to terminate 2 days before Thanksgiving doesn't speak well to that cause. Okay, so it's true. Brennan called me. I remember exactly where it was on the eve of Thanksgiving, Wednesday in St. Petersburg. It was after 9 o'clock at night, and I get a call.
Point of order, I'm sorry, because these proceedings, we have a motion on the floor. I appreciate that. This is very serious, but this is not the appropriate time.
Well, okay, so let me just
I second that point of order.
I'll just give quick context. I respect, I understand.
Point of order. Robert's rule. Right here. Let him say. No.
There's a point of order. We are here. We have a motion on a second.
Let me just.
I allowed Dr. Asplen to speak. I thought this was a legal counsel component, not a speech, and I don't think that's appropriate.
I will do the legal counsel component now. Over the course between the day before Thanksgiving up until the Monday before the 29th, we were told he's not supposed to be here and we're trying to negotiate a separation. Okay, so you have to give this context to understand when he showed up at that meeting and the first time being faced with comments that he never heard for heretofore the 29th, that his reaction to that was justified to some degree.
Okay, thank you, sir. That your opinion was really, you provided legal
So if I
counsel.
can finish what I was going to say. Thank you. So I know, like I said, I need to bring this to your attention as our Sarasota citizens. I'm speaking to everybody on TV, everybody that's watching this. Some of the social media posts that I have seen recently and were sent to me, I believe that everyone in our district should hear regarding the political tactics impacting education, not only in our county, but statewide. This is about politics, people. There has been much celebratory social media chatter over the last weeks, including one from one of our state representatives, Randy Fine. Yeah, Randy Fine. And here it is, and it's a picture of me, and a picture of another superintendent, and a picture of Governor DeSantis. And State Representative Fine says, "The whacking of our superintendent is making national news, and we are just getting started." So that's pretty political. Then he followed that with another post regarding my wife, who is a respected veteran educator of 34 years with stellar qualifications. Someone shared the information that my wife was required to resign as well. And so again, State Representative Fine, who is in Tallahassee or wherever he is, but not in Sarasota, felt like he had to put out there, sounds like that will just make the whacking even sweeter. A twofer. That's real nice.
Real upstander.
So before my wife and I go, because she's been asked to resign as well. She's an employee of the district regardless of me, but she's been asked to resign. She can do her own thing, but she's in this with me. But before we go, I want to clear a lot of things that we heard today are just not true. And I could go through every single one of them and refute them. And if you want to look at maybe you should, over the last 2 years, look at the workshops and the school board meetings. That might clear a lot of this up for folks. But one of the items was being accused of nepotism, which is a false accusation. When I came on board, which a lot of people don't know this, when I came on board, I reviewed the nepotism policy with the school board attorney who was here at that time. And I sat down to ensure that we were in full compliance, or else she wouldn't have applied. So everything we did was of the utmost integrity, and we were allowed to do that. She's an excellent educator who served this district with dedication and passion and does not deserve this disparagement. I can tell you that right now, but did nothing wrong, nothing. Additionally, there was another post that I have 2 questions about, actually, since we're talking about this. This is regarding a social media post by none other than Bridget Ziegler, a local public figure here in Sarasota, who I believe is our chairperson's spouse. And Bridget Ziegler posted, "Now it's on to our weekly game of winners and losers. Winners, honorable mention, Bridget McGrath Ziegler, the Sarasota County School Board Chair and Moms for Liberty co-founder, can soon claim the scalp of the Sarasota County Superintendent Brennan Asplen, as the school board and Asplen are negotiating a resignation package following last month's election results."
Real upstander.
That election gave conservatives a 4-1 majority on the school board, a shift from the prior 3-2 majority enjoyed by Democrats. And although Asplen has described himself as a conservative, which I am, conservative Republican, the move to push out incumbent superintendents follows a playbook pushed by Moms for Liberty, which has sought more involvement by conservatives in school board elections. These are not my words, these are Bridget Ziegler's words. So I have 2 questions. First question is, as the school board chair, Ms. Ziegler, referenced in this post, do you feel that statements with violent vitriol like "you will be claiming my scalp" are in keeping with our school district vision of civility and position on bullying? And my second question is, as the proud co-founder of Moms for Liberty, can you please share with the community what the playbook is and where we may find a copy so that we can all understand clearly and transparently? I would appreciate that. So I don't know if you want to answer that, but I think you're not going to. Okay, perfect.
First of all, speak for myself. My husband can answer those questions separately. Secondly, I find this is a perfect demonstration of your inability to own the because when you go to, and I'm done after this, we need to move forward. Because this is not productive for anyone. But when you go to, excuse me.
You're embarrassing us. You're a national embarrassment. You're embarrassing us all over the country. I did not move here to have this chaos.
Madam Chair, there's a vote on the table.
Unified, please. This is insane.
I'll close my final thoughts is, I believe that there have been now multitude of scenarios when the superintendent has been brought forward with opportunities to improve, when I brought forward areas of concern, and I think that at time and time again, there's always a deflection of somewhere else, whether it was that he was the new person here, or that it is someone else's fault. At the end of the day, stability is very important. I am looking forward to a brighter tomorrow for Sarasota County Schools. We have a motion and a second on the floor. I have Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a lot to get through tonight, so I appreciate the passion. It's just me speaking to the folks out there. So before I get to my comment, I have to honestly say that at this juncture, when I've been attacked as an elected official, and people come up to the podium and they say things to you like groomer, like pedophile, and it comes and goes. Dr. Asplen has sat here in a very public humiliation that is kind of like being on trial, and he absolutely deserves more dignity and more compassion and more care. You can still decide to terminate him, but when people use that he's not demonstrating good leadership, I can look this way and I can look this way, and we could all say that. And it's not fair that when you're the brunt of humiliating, ugly comments and expect him to maintain composure. Meeting from the 22nd to the 29th to now. And it's not fair that your expectation of leadership, it's human. It happens. I'm in that situation and I haven't had to, and I've endured a lot, but not what this gentleman has. So I need to say that. The second thing is, what I think is important in communication of what happened here, because there are 5 of us and we probably have 5 different perceptions of what happened from the 22nd to tonight. But I will tell you that I got a phone call on the 23rd and was asked if I was interested as a board member in having negotiations for Dr. Asplen so that we could avoid that meeting that Dr. Asplen references. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not interested in that. And the next thing I know, there's emails coming that the negotiation is going on. And as I said publicly before, we didn't give the board chair that authority. So here is this superintendent who goes from the 22nd. I was flabbergasted on the 22nd. I wasn't being terminated. He was. Can you imagine how he felt? 2 days, 3 days before Thanksgiving, from a board member who says, my relationship is unworkable, and it's 7 minutes? How do you expect someone to respond? And then the very next day, he's being told, we want to negotiate out. And so then the negotiations stopped. They just went cold. If I'm him, they just went cold. Why? I don't know. I don't know what his attorney said. I don't know what those attorneys said. And so, again, it's this constant, and my heart is breaking because it's painful that we put him in this situation needlessly when we could have done what we said, which was give the guy a chance.
Right.
And so the last thing I'm gonna say is, because we have another big agenda item to get through. The trust is broken all the way around. I said that today in the workshop. It's real hard for me to trust because it was 7 minutes. And I'm being honest with you. I'm just telling you my personal feeling. It was 7 minutes and boom, 4 board members, next thing you know. So we have to, and that's why I said what I said about the negotiations for the bargaining. When this board focuses solely, which is where we have to go next, on what's in the best interest of our students and our employees, we can get there. But bear in mind, I can appreciate you don't trust me any more than I trust you. So it's real important that we find that common ground in the next agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. I have a motion and a second. Are there any additional comments? Seeing none, I will take a voice vote. I will start with Mrs. Marinelli. Do you want me to restate? Sorry? Oh. And the motion passes 4-1 to accept the separation agreement of Superintendent Dr. Bridget Asplen III and Mary Ellen Asplen
And then I'll leave.
You have the floor.
I just wanted to read this, share some final thoughts here before I go. As a lifelong educator dedicated to providing every student with the best possible instructional opportunity, the last 3 weeks have been grueling and unexpected challenge. Neither nor my wife, nor my wife, Mary Ellen Asplen, who I want to make sure is clear, is also a highly effective, passionate career educator, never anticipated this tumultuous situation as punctuation marks on our servant leadership. It was unquestionably never what we moved to Sarasota to accomplish. We faithfully intended to continue the work of moving our district forward. But sometimes life waylays our best intended plans, whether it is stabilizing a district in crisis, pivoting for an unprecedented global pandemic, being caught in the crosshairs of national political unrest, weathering and recovering from hurricanes, or enduring emotional proceedings such as this. So I reiterate what I have consistently said as I served as your leader. We must stay the course, focus on the goals, block out the noise and the false narratives, hold fast to the vision, and continue working as one for the success of all. My earnest gratitude, respect, and praise go to our exceptional teachers and our devoted administrators, dedicated staff, our supportive parents and community, but mostly to our students of Sarasota County Schools. Students, hear this. You are the future. You will do great things. You will soar. Be the good in this world. It has been an honor to serve as your superintendent. I have and always will remain an advocate for strong, fair, and innovative public education. Nothing that has transpired here will change who I am and what my core beliefs are. I still strive to be a voice of reason, who will champion for every student, every teacher, and every administrator to be a beacon for excellence, standing up for what is right, even when that is incredibly daunting. Though I will no longer sit in this chair or be on the move in your classrooms, you may trust that I will continue to support your mission towards building a stronger public education system that serves all students. And to that point, I leave you with a favorite Greek proverb. A society grows when old men plant trees in whose shade they shall never sit. Thank you, good night, and Godspeed, everybody.
Thank you.